Kincaid, Breckenridge on News Talk 770. Just an addendum to your story, Roger. I've been informed that tag has also been banned within the new Chorus Calgary headquarters.
I saw that posting go up in the lunchroom, and I thought to myself, that seems appropriate.
There's too many sharp corners, narrow hallways.
Mercer Island School District in Washington State. Now, let me just tell you a story about Mercer Island really quickly here. It's in Lake Washington, and you can picture Mercer Island as being this wonderful haven, this home just across the narrow reach to Beaux-Arts, where all these hippies probably lived and watched the city of Seattle and Bellevue spring up around them, and they thought to themselves, as long as they don't build a bridge here, we'll be okay. And lo, they built the interstate expressway I-90 right across their island, and they thought to themselves, well, it's still a place where we can put straw in our hair and love and protect the whales or something like that.
Well, it is technically an island.
Mm-hmm. And it's as far as I know,
it's a nice place.
It's a bit of a different place. It's nice, though, right? So anyway, they got a school district there, and they got a bunch of kids. They go to the school, and these kids, they sometimes play tag at recess, and then the Mercer Island School District stepped in and said, no mas. Can't be doing that because there's some hard tags going on. These kids are getting hurt from time to time, and we need to create an environment where it is physically and emotionally secure for these kids to be going to school.
Right. Even some people texting, saying, this sounds in keeping with Mercer Island and the way they approach matters. So Lenore Skenazy, we had on a while ago, freerangekids.com. She's got the note from the school district posted on her website. This is dated September 25th. The hands-off policy intended for unstructured play and recess, however well-intended, has led to confusion, false reporting, and is clearly not supported by staff and many parents. So this is actually, sounds like it's being reinstated, is what I'm reading, because this is the update to her original post.
What, that they're letting them play tag again?
They're letting them play tag again.
Friday evening, they decided that they would lift the ban. They said that we'll let these kids play tag again because the parents were outraged. They formed a group called STAR, something about support tag at our schools or something like support tag at recess. Right. That's what it was. But listen, this is a big topic, and you can look at it. You can choose to look at it one of two ways. Okay, one way is to say, "Oh, the school board, they had this idea, and they found out from the parents it's a bad idea, so then they walked it back, and they let them play tag again." But the other, this is a much bigger problem for me. Okay, is this idea that kids have to be completely bubble wrapped and helicoptered and protected from absolutely everything at all costs, and the people who should know how damaging that policy is better than anybody, better than even parents, Rob, is educators, because educators, first of all, they understand something. They understand that parents are trusting them with their kids. And secondly, they educate. They go to school to learn about things that are good for kids and how can we better instruct kids and how can we update our processes to make them better for children. So when we have those people making such horrible decisions for our kids, we've got a problem. That's the state that's being trusted with the children in these policies, and they're making a huge catastrophe out of it by making an environment where children do not learn the very valuable lessons of discomfort and pain.
Okay, this was the original email from the school board. Let me read this one. This is what went out originally. The Mercer Island School District and school teams have recently revised expectations for student behavior to address student safety. This means while at play, especially during recess and unstructured time, students are expected to keep their hands to themselves. The rationale behind this is to ensure the physical and emotional safety of all students. Now, you can envision in a game of tag, if one kid's trying to hurt another, instead of just tagging them with, one hand, I got you, you're it, some kid just goes up full on shove with two hands, you're it, and shoves a kid to the ground. But then you've got a problem. That's not tag. That's a kid shoving another kid. And it's fair and reasonable that schools set boundaries and say you can't do that. So that doesn't seem an excuse to ban tag. That seems like a reason to deal with kids intentionally hurting other kids. So that was the reason they did. I don't know what it means by emotional safety. If you're suggesting that kids playing tag, kids might accidentally tag too hard and kids will fall down and hurt themselves. Okay, that's physical. I don't know what emotional safety is supposed to mean. So again, this hands-off policy, they say was well-intended but led to confusion, led to false reporting. I'm not sure what false reporting they're talking about. And They admitted that clearly many staff and parents didn't support it. It lacked stakeholder participation and support. So they say tag as we know it and have known it has been reinstated. In addition, students may continue to play flag tag as they wish. Other respectful games that involve appropriate physical interaction are also encouraged. Our school principals and teachers will work with our students as they imagine and develop new games for play. But you know what? If you fall down at recess, I mean, that's okay, right? My son, they play soccer at recess. And just the way the field is, they sort of play on a field, and there's like a path nearby that almost crosses the field. So they sort of play over this cement path. And my son came home one day, and his leg was just all scratched up.
Oh, I thought you were going to say awesome, but go on. Yeah.
It was all awesome.
Yeah.
And I said, what happened? We were playing soccer today, and he went down, and he fell and landed on where like the path was. So instead of landing on the grass, he landed on the path and just, mucked up his leg really good. And I'm sure it hurt. He had some nice scabs for a while, but he was okay. He was okay. There was no crisis. There was no emergency. They didn't need to ban soccer. It was just, okay, that happens. That's okay. In fact, even just last night, he fell off his bike. He's out playing with some friends. And that happened. That happens in childhood. That's okay.
Now, are you a dad who would say, rub some dirt in it? Are you that kind of dad?
Well, I could say rub some dirt in it. You want to understand what happened.
Right.
You don't want kids to unnecessarily hurt themselves. If you're doing something reckless, you might say, you know what, that's probably a bad idea. So to understand, make sure the kid knows his limits and what's responsible and what's not. And does it hurt? Okay, well, you can put a Band-Aid on it. Maybe put some Polysporin on it, put a Band-Aid on it if it's hurting you. That's fine.
You're really getting to my point here, which I did, because while I don't advocate for putting soil on open wounds, I don't think you need to go so far as to ban the activity that led to the injury, right?
No, exactly.
So it's sort of like, all right, kid, go give it a rinse, put a Band-Aid on it, and then just come back out, pick up your stick, and continue playing. Like we didn't not play road hockey just because you bumped into the curb with your stick and got impaled through the gut. You know what I mean? Has that happened to more kids than just me, by the way? Yeah. That was really painful when that used to happen. But you kept playing road hockey. This is an issue that I have, and this is what I want to run down before we get to this commercial break here and open up the phone lines about this, 974-8255. Lots of conversation on Facebook about this matter, by the way. But if the problem is like this stupid idea of emotional security, I don't even know what that means. But it's quite clear that somebody who had this idea in the Mercer Island School District, had a problem with touching, kids touching each other.
Right.
And this has come up in many, many other conversations that are similar to this one. Is the appropriate response to say, oh, we just won't have any more touching? Or is the appropriate response then to teach kids about the difference between appropriate touching and inappropriate touching? Because I don't want anyone trying to tell me that tapping a kid on the shoulder, that one kid tapping another kid on the shoulder or the hip or the leg is inappropriate when you're playing tag.
Well, I think you run the danger of not teaching kids the difference between inappropriate touching and appropriate touching. To say that touching someone on the shoulder is the same as touching someone on the rear end, why would we want to send that message to kids? I think kids need to know the difference.
Yeah.
And so I think that, you're right. A blanket approach is the wrong way to go. But let's take a break. We got a ton of great texts. I want to read some of them, and we'll get to some of your phone calls here, 974-8255. But it does sound, at least going by one text, that there are schools here that have banned tag.
What?
Yes.
I want to...
All right, so I don't know if you've experienced that. By all means, send us a text or give us a call here, 974-8255. We're back with more right after this. All right, Kincaid and Breckenridge on News Talk 770. I don't mean to alarm anybody, but I just got this text, which sounds totally legit. If you don't pay Facebook $5.99 and read this text on the air, then tag will be outlawed in all schools in Canada tomorrow at 12:57 p.m.
I don't have any change.
Well, I did my part. I read the text on the air.
Oh, I got to pay?
Step up here.
Do they take Barter Plus? We'll see. Here's a text here. My son split his head open on playground equipment, 7 stitches on the head after dropping my groceries off. At home, I went to get him and was met by a nervous principal, hand-wringing, office staff. There was lots of blood, and my response to my kid was, wow, good one. Right? Mother of the year right there.
But as I alluded to before the break, though, Rogers, someone texted us to say that their kid's school has banned tag. I don't know if I should name the school or not, because I don't know that I can confirm this, but a school in Calgary, this person is saying, did ban tag for basically these same reasons.
Wow. I guess the education there's not very glamorous.
You might say
that.
And I got to read this one, too. This one's just hilarious. It says, when I was in elementary school, we used to play a game at recess called L.A. Riots, where we basically created a mosh pit and jumped all over each other.
Wow, that's stunning. Let's bring Betty Jo Kaiser into this conversation right now. Betty Jo.
Hi, gentlemen.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, thank you.
So what do you got a lot to say about
Betty
this?
Jo went home, heard us talking about this, got in her car, drove all the way back.
That's actually true, I did. No, I didn't. I'm cycling to work now, so I was here the whole time.
Awesome.
But I'm fired up about this topic.
Okay, go ahead, give it to us.
I have 3 kids, right? All in different ages and grades. And this little story is just one little story which highlights the bigger picture, which is we're not letting our kids fail. If you don't let your kids fail, fall down, hurt, lose, what you're setting them up for a real problem as they get older.
Yeah.
One of my favorite lines to my kids is, life is not fair. You adjust to that when you're 5, when you're 6, when you're 14, because when you're 24 and you lose your job, or when you're at university and the professor rips up your paper, you won't be devastated and on the brink of despair. You'll be like, okay, I have fallen down. How do I pick myself up, brush myself off, and move forward? What am I learning from this?
That's why there's this weird thing, and it's like a gap that kids have to get over immediately when they leave high school. It's that you might not get into university.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's like you have to make a concerted effort to fail for the first 12 years of your education, and then you apply for university, but you actually have to compete and perform, and you might not get in.
Yeah.
But we don't teach them that, right? So then you get all these devastated people who are like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do now. I'm 19 and I don't have anywhere to hang out for lunch.
I'm going to give you another example. There was a bit of reshuffling at the school, and there's a new class added because there was some extra kids in the classroom. This is like a problem all over the city.
Right.
Okay. New teacher, new class. Week 2, we need to pull some kids out of this class because we've got to create a new class. That means less students, student-teacher ratio. This is awesome, right?
Yeah.
No. What do you mean you're pulling my kid out of that class? My kid liked that teacher. My kid was fine with that situation. My kid, what are you doing? What are you doing? And it's like, so I get the call. Would you be okay if we would remove your daughter? I'm like, what do you mean okay? You're the educator. You have got a new staff person to make the job easier.
Right.
Would you like to talk to your child? Yeah. It goes like this. You're going from this class to that class. Oh, I'm not going to be with my friend Lucy. No, you'll make new friends. Sounds good. Over. Done. Like, I feel like we're really, as a society, we're missing a great opportunity to get our kids gritty. Get them dirty, get some stitches, fall down, don't get picked last. And like one mom says, if you're going to ban tag, does that mean you're not allowed to run around the school? Does that mean you can't run in the playground? Like, that's it? Running?
I was like the parent when I'm at the playground and somebody goes, no running. I'm like, what are you talking about, no running? It's got to be running.
Yeah. You don't run on the pool deck.
Well, you
don't run on the house.
But that's the thing, Betty Jo, right?
Right?
We do want kids to be safe.
Yes.
Right. It's fine if your kids are getting, bruised and caught. But if your kids are playing with nails, you tell your kids, don't play with nails.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? Don't play with that later.
Right.
It's fine that, you might do some risky things, but some things are too risky. And I think we need to teach our kids reasonable risk. And what you're saying, though, and I think you're right, is that we've just lumped all risk together. So
Yes.
whether you're climbing the monkey bars or playing with the lighter, it's all bad. So we just got to don't do any of it.
Let's be real about the no running beside the pool thing. It's 2 things. 1, the lifeguard doesn't want to have to clean up blood, and 2, I'm reading a magazine and having a beer, and I want some tranquility.
Exactly.
Hey, Corinne, thanks for calling in. How you doing?
Hi there.
Hi, go ahead.
I really think in the United States, and now it's happening in Canada, it's because all the school boards are scared of lawsuits.
Scared of lawsuits.
Right. They're scared that when your child fell down playing soccer and scraped his leg on the gravel, well, the parents are going to sue the school for not having everything set up right. In tag, if somebody gets hurt or their emotional well-being, which means, they didn't get tagged, they were excluded, then they're going to sue the school. That's what they do in the U.S. They sue for everything. Right?
My entire experience with the American legal system is Judge Judy, and I think that she would see that case and she would basically shout down the parent who thought it appropriate to sue the school, and then pat the kid on the head and say you're a better person now. Why doesn't that happen?
But right? It all goes back to that silly, getting burned by coffee at McDonald's, right? I mean, you can't do anything without somebody thinking they can make a quick buck. It's a way of life, and in Canada, you hear it with the younger generation all the time. Oh, just sue them. Oh, I'm going to sue them, and that seems to be the answer, and school boards are scared of that.
That's a good call, Corinne. Thanks very much.
I don't know if that happens much in Canada, though.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I have to say, I think it's just the parents complaining. I think that might be part of it is the parents are going to come in and say, I think there's a fear. They're going to say, why weren't you protecting Johnny? Why did you do that? Why did you? There's this sense of you need to make this perfect for my kid, rather than life's not perfect. You're going to fall down. You're going to fail. You're going to struggle. Do you know what I mean? I feel like parents, sometimes, some parents, there's this sense of entitlement and a sense of it's your job to make this scenario for my kids perfect.
Right. Look, I expect the school I send my kids to be safe, but that's going to mean different things to different people.
Exactly.
If there are students carrying knives, I would expect the school would say you're not allowed to bring knives to school. That's what I would take to mean a safe school. Other people would take it to mean, well, wait a sec, are you letting kids play in the playground and play tag? Then it's an unsafe school. So I think you get those unreasonable people that ruin it for everybody else.
I just think there's more and more unreasonable people, and that's, maybe I'm getting myself in trouble here with other parents, but I think from my observations as a mom, I think there's more and more people whose expectations are they're just not in line with mine.
Are you saying that there's grown-ups that are wrecking it for kids?
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Thanks, Betty.
I'm going to say it out loud.
Thanks
guys.
Bye.
Roger Kincaid and Rob Breckenridge.